Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday, December 3rd. We have 10 stocks to look at. These are ones you could play tomorrow or maybe even Friday and hold through the weekend. Really good safe plays. If you're a 9-to-5 trader like me, who can't just look at their stocks all day, these are great. If you're an intermediate trader, know more about what you're doing, but you kind of want to add some stocks besides SNDL, NIO, and these EV stocks, you want to kind of add some more diversification, these are fantastic. Let's get into it. So our first play is AKTS. We called it about a week ago. When we called it, it was right about here, and it kind of did its own little reversal. We made a few percent off it, and then we got validated out. Right now and currently, it is sitting beautifully at this second bottom channel here. We have a double bottom, almost perfectly developed on the 180-day chart, which is a rarity in itself. And you can see it's green, and now it's kind of starting to poke up, right? MACD and stochastic are reversing. It was recently around 40 on the RSI, and so now that's kind of curling up. That's a fantastic sign. All day was red for everybody. It came down, came back up, and now it's pushing up. Worst case with this, we're looking at 3%. Not a big move, but, plenty of room. Realistically, I'm thinking, 825 is probably your target, 10%, and if we really get a good move over the next few weeks or month, maybe 19%. I would cut it at 725. If this lower one doesn't hold, I would get rid of it, and I'd aim for, 825, $9 anywhere in here would be a great play. It's a good 3-to-1, 2-to-1 play, super easy read. I like it a lot. ATO was ironically my fraternity in college, and now I'm going to try and trade it. You can see today a massive sell-off like everyone experienced, and it's in this massive triangle over time, right? Again, a little breakage here, so I guess technically it could, drop a little bit lower, but I don't think it's a coincidence it bopped here. Stochastic is at a good price, 39 RSI. MACD also recently crossed. It came back below it, so we have some room to run on that. This is a concerning hammer, though. You have a massive red, then a reverse hammer. So it showed a little bit of life, but it showed a lot and then got beat down. So that's not the greatest thing of all time. But it is a support area, and it does have the triangle going for it. It does have some room to drop. If it doesn't hold around 92, these other candles, get rid of it. But we're looking at easily, $102, $103. So it's a good 8% to 3%, a good 3-to-1 play. It's at support. When it breaks above the EMA lines, it really goes long. So that's a nice signal for you if it gets stopped here. Sell and take some profit. But looking at the triangle over time, it always seems to kind of hit the yellow. And when it does, it seems to succeed going the other way too. I like it a lot. I'd go in tomorrow if it showed some life. AXU. No. We've called AXU 3 times now, and by golly, we called it the other day, and I was right, and we're going to call it again. The reason is it's in the golden channel again. It showed life. We called it down here, and now you'd be up about 4%. If you haven't gotten in already, it just confirmed. Even on a red day, it showed life. Now it's above the 50 MA. It's above this channel, and we could easily see it go another 3% at worst, and at best, hopefully 16%. As you can see, it broke previous highs. So we had lower highs and then broke above that, shattering that channel. So hopefully it can now go long again. The stochastic is a little bit exhausted, but I think it has a chance of going up, tapping this line, coming down, and then taking off, right? So I'd buy in now. It's a good value. Very low volume, so we have no reason to think there's going to be a reversal coming. As of now, I would cut it if this other candle doesn't hold down here. So maybe around 243, 244, I'd cut it if it doesn't live and buy back in lower. Realistically, we're hoping for a full move, 16%. Probably closer to, 279, 280 is probably a better move, more realistic. A good 3-to-1 play. It's just a nice support channel play. I think it has a lot of potential from here. CHWY, one of my favorites. We played this once and twice and hopefully now thrice. As you can see, it's definitely trying to hold its life right here. right? You can see from maybe here over, and then we'll make this its own channel. As you can see in this whole area, this whole wick, then these moves up here, and then blast it through it, it wants to hold. A lot of this is based off of the EMA lines and how it bounces off of them, and it seems to be bouncing off this 50 EMA as well. Now, if we go along, here, we're looking at maybe 9%, and then you can cut it around 69.40 if it doesn't hold, right? If these lines don't hold, the MA line doesn't hold, there's no reason you would hold it. You would just buy back in at the 200 EMA or this channel. But again, the stochastic can't get much lower. The MACD's tanking, but that should hopefully curl back up, and it's at 48, which is a pretty fair price. So overall, a good stock. It showed life. Maybe wait for tomorrow to let it show you that, you know, it has a chance of surviving, because this is a resistance at $72.90, $73. If it hits this and doesn't live, buy in lower. But again, a good stock just to have in your watch list in general. So next is FR. Really easy to read channel play. I would wait. It did show some life here at the 200 EMA, but it has a history of breaking it and hitting the channel. It's done it 4 times now and succeeded every single time. So I think it's going to do it again. The only thing you should be aware of is that it goes channel to top, channel to top, channel to top, and it hasn't hit the channel yet. Now we could argue that it tapped here, it went back up, so now it's going to tap down and go back up. So I don't think it's going to live here. I think it has to hit this channel still, but that's only, you know, 0.8% away. Would you lose sleep over giving up 0.8% of a move to get in a little bit early and you risk a little bit extra? No. So I'd be comfortable buying in tomorrow, just not to miss the move. You can see the stochastic really has moves at -65. We're at -50 right now. So it has a little bit more room to drop. The MACD is still not crossed over yet, but it's really flat. So I mean, I wouldn't even take this into consideration. It doesn't mean anything to me. And the MACD is, or the RSI is at 41. So I'd give it a day just to see, but I would not mind buying it now. It's a good price. I mean, even beginner traders can read this triangle, right? We can even see possibly this area right here, which you may not see, is that's a support area, right there. Live action charting, boys. So as you can see, these last 3 candles held, and then it does kind of seem to stop price action in this area. So I would see it possibly tapping and going off again. So I'd buy in. It's a good looking stock. No reason not to keep going up. We have called GERN and we've abused GERN. We bought it here in this area, got some money, bought in here, got some money. It tapped, we got a little bit of money. And once again, folks, we are here. We have a double bottom, as you can see, right there and right there, a channel and a support. The stochastic cannot get much lower. The RSI was at 39. Do I go on? Right, like this is everything we talked about. Like this is everything we've trained for, everybody.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
As you can see, this channel also is just a beauty. Do I think it has a chance of collapsing? I do, because you can connect all these lines right here and basically see it's gotten lower highs over time, but that just means it's coiling into a bigger move. So I would buy this tomorrow. If it shows even a little bit of life, I'm going long. We're talking the easy, possible 15%. If 174 doesn't hold, I'd cut it. It's 5%, a little bit more risk than usual. But given the history of the stock, I'm comfortable with that. GERN is a fantastic channel play. Everything's lining up. This is convergence in action. Only issue are these EMA lines. If it breaks these, go long. It's going to go crazy. GFF, as I said, had a chance of dying. It did, and we had a stop loss where I wanted it, so I got out and I broke even, basically. I bought in here. I made like 5-6%. It sounds stupid. Next one is GFF. We were watching this. We were holding it. We bought it in the channel, and we held it about 8-9% for a few days, and then today we got validated out. It's at a previous support area, and it's at a channel play. This channel has worked once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, and now 6. So I think it's going to keep going. The only concern is let's lower our reward, possibly. Maybe make 6-7% on this one. Only reason I say that is it's going to bounce out of this pretty quickly, I think. But when it does that, it's going to hit both EMA lines at the same time at a resistance. So that may not be the greatest setup for reward, but again, if it does go over it, historically when it breaks above it, it really does go long, really, really hard. So you can't get a much better price than this. You buy in now, then the question is what's going to hold more, MA lines or a channel that's even more respected, it seems like, right? So I would go long tomorrow. I like GFF here a lot. If it holds, easy 5, 6, 7%. If it really blasts through, we're talking an easy 25%. Good 3-to-1 play. I like it a lot. We've called safe multiple times. I'm still waiting for it to die a little bit more on me because I want to get back into my channel because Lord knows I like channel plays. We have a possible new channel creating here. If we go to like the 20-day, you can see how up close it is. Now, you know, you can easily see this is technically a channel down, right? It's technically channeling down. But at the same time, you can make money when it's channeling down, right? It's a nice 7% wide channel. It just hit. You missed 2% in the move. Realistically looking, it's going to come up here, muddle around, and go back up. So I keep my eye on this one. If this does create a new channel down, it's just going to channel down until we hit this EMA line, and then it's going to pop. Or it's going to hit this channel and its support, and it's going to pop. But in the meantime, I want to abuse this channel as much as possible. I may buy in, go up the nice 6% that it will give me easily, sell it, then buy back in. This is a move that happens every 2 days, 3 days, 2 days, 3 days. So we're talking every 3 days you make 5%, 6%. It's really easy. Rinse, wash, repeat until this channel breaks. And when that happens, we're going to buy in when it has a nice support area and then go long again. When does it stop? I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm not a mind reader. Some call me a wizard, but not for the reasons you think. Just kidding. That's I don't know what it means. All right, next is... I'm tired.
Don't use that one.
No, that's why it sounds like that's not even...
It's either, but don't use.
It's funny because it's stupid. The next is SPLK. When I charted it, it had stopped here, so it's still dying. It does have a wick though. This is a lot like that play last week, Wrapped, where we said I called it before it dropped, and then it dropped 40%, and then it went up 20%. This has a very similar situation, I think. I don't know when it's going to stop dying, and I don't know. It has a lot of room to die. Like, it does technically have plenty of space to do it. I think it's going to have a bounce, though. It looks like it's getting close to bouncing here. Again, just keep it on your watch list. I would definitely keep an eye on this one. It's obviously oversold, exhausted, and everything. How much lower can it get? You know, it's going to start coming up on folks' scanners tomorrow and tomorrow morning. You can look over here. This would be our, this whole area is our next support. It's not quite there yet. But if you buy in now and it goes long, it has a lot of room to make up, but you can easily see 5, 10, 15% if you get your entry right. We haven't ever seen a collapse like this. But we look back here, it did have a lot of volatility in that earnings day. And over here, it did climb massively and then came back down. So this will come back up eventually. I would just set an alert, maybe like above this candle at 167. When it makes that move and it shows life, you can go long. There's nothing going to stop it in between these two things, right? Once it gets going, maybe halfway up it'll kind of get exhausted. But if it breaks this and keeps going, easy 12% as it cruises back up, back into where it should be. Next is STAG. That's how I went to my prom. I still have no friends. STAG is right at support. RSI is at 39. We have a little bit lower in the stochastic. It could technically go, but I can't see it doing that. You can see where it closed a little bit above this green boy over here. So, is it a double bottom? No, not technically. I think that's too long of distance to be considered one, obviously. And it's technically downtrending, right? That's pretty obvious at this point. The real question is, how much lower can it go? And the answer is, it has some room, right? I mean, there's definitely some risk in this one. It could technically drop down to 28.45. It can go down to 27.50, maybe 26.50. It has room to drop, but that's why we use stop losses. If it buys here, you can easily cut around, $29. We're talking maybe 2%. Nothing crazy. If it lives here, which I think it's going to, easy 3% off the top, maybe 7, maybe 13. again, a really good beginner stock. We're not seeing massive moves. Even this big candle like here, oh, it's 2%. Like you're not gonna lose sleep over $10 being made or lost, right? Even this huge one's only 3%, right? So it's a good beginner stock. You can buy in. If it shows life, you can teach yourself, hey, I have a good stock. It's running. I'm gonna hold on to this and let it go, right? Everything else is looking good for it. I like it a lot. My last one is my sweet baby UPLD. I'm sad to see it die like this, but you know, it has to sometimes so we can get a good deal. As you can see, it hit the support area and it's already after hours. You know, it's only 200, but doofuses are going to see that and buy and go long. So really high volume today. It just collapsed on us. It must have just gotten overexerted. It does happen. This channel has a lot of success and it tapped into it. You know, we could ride this back up 10%, back up all the way up to maybe 20%. I would love to see it come to this 200 EMA line. I would just adore that as a characteristic. If it hits over here, I'll throw my whole account at it. I don't care. I like the stock that much. It's so predictable. But until it hits that channel, I'm going to hold off a little bit. But I think if it does show some green tomorrow, I would go long, cut if it gets below $21 here at this channel, and then you can wait for it in this area for some confirmation, maybe some convergence, whatever you like. The MACD can't get much lower, as it historically doesn't. Stoch can't get much lower. The RSI was oversold. So again, even if you don't want to play this play tomorrow, it's a fantastic stock for the future. It just keeps going up and down. Off this channel, off these supports, you know, it's such an easy play to read. I like it a lot. And there you have it. That's all our plays for the day, all 10 of them. We had a red opening today, and this is an important thing I put on Twitter. A red opening does not mean a red day. A red opening means discounts in the morning, right? You can check the ticker symbols at 9:30 a.m., noon, and at 4 o'clock. None of them look the same, right? We have a bunch of red in the morning, and we actually have some green at the end of the day, right? So I would never go into a morning like this and be like, the whole day's shot. No, all it means is that you need to be more vigilant to buy in for better prices. We like to see some red as swing traders. Now, if you're holding a lot of stocks, I got out about half my positions because I got stop lossed out, but I made profit. I secured it. I didn't hold anything. I didn't like pray to get back up to where I was. I just lost my 2 or 3%, took my profits, and I called it a day. With that being said, if you want to see how I trade, I have a video up here that's going to talk more about my deep dives and why I choose some stocks. It's a great video for you guys to check out. If you want to follow me on TikTok, you can follow me here. We also have my Twitter with live updates here. And I'm also an admin in hashtag investing, a newer website. You can find that here. If you need anything else, please let me know. If not, have a good Wednesday. We'll see you guys tomorrow.